All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Hymns of the Heretics, a cult Divinity Lost story. So it's been a while. We've had about 21 days of a break, while real life, um, unfolds, wreaks havoc, develops beautifully. And now it is time for us to return to the little town of Bee Caves, in the Texan suburbs, where some uh, the innocent sleep soundly, and those that are not so innocent are trapped in the void or drowning in a dream. So, our first before we move on, I want to check in on poor Josh Grant. Last we heard of Josh, he was uh suffocating in a dream. And, as we know, this kind of situation, typically when we um when you die in your dream, you die in real life kind of thing, kind of nightmare. I guess this is kind of Nightmare on Elm Street coded, you know?
hmm
Anyway, so Josh, your body in real life is close to suffocation. So why don't you go ahead and start us off with our first roll and roll to endure injury.
How much harm did I suffer?
Three. Okay. So, you choose one of the three.
Um, I guess I'll take knocked out.
Okay. So,
It's just
you,
choked out.
well, you are kind of like are able to regain your breath, but you continue, to kind of, the nightmare persists, let's say. Even as the morning unfolds, um, another body is also, kind of, unresponsive. Unfortunately, um, James is not in a compound full of like nosy militants to rouse him. Um, but soon enough, somebody calls for Marcia and Ethel. Where would you be sleeping, Josh?
Likely outside. He would have set up a tent somewhere.
A tent again. All right.
Yeah.
And you were expected to be up early, right, to direct the comings and goings um of the uh of of the compound, and some like nondescript dude in like camo pants and like um and uh and like I don't know, t-shirt or whatever, runs in. And it's like, but Josh isn't waking up. He's in his tent. He's not waking up. Runs into the kitchen at the in the compound where Jenny, Ethel, Nayeli, Marcia um are making breakfast or kind of all together as breakfast is being prepared.
So upon hearing that Josh isn't waking up, I would run out to his uh tent
Okay.
and kind of
Marsh, go ahead.
and just kind of yell. No, no, I would just run out to the tent. I'm sorry.
Okay. You kind of lead the charge and the other women kind of trail behind you. Um, Cole, what are you doing this morning? Are you are you playing? Oh God, I just realized Cole is not here. Andy's not here
I
because
was
he was.
wondering.
I was like in my mind, I was like, wait a minute. I'm literally talking to nobody because Andy is celebrating his retirement. Okay. Anyway, let me reel back my brain. Um, all right. So, Marsha, you run out into like the backyard area, the big backyard area where there are various tents that have been erected, and you know rush forward and lift out um the the you know his tent, and y'all like bust in and he's on his back. There's like he's threw up in his sleep, but it looks like he's coughed out most of it. He's sleeping. I mean, he appears to be sleeping, um, and kind of like snoring softly.
Oh my God. So he has like puke on his
Yeah.
mouth and food? Okay, so first I would turn him on his side, but like shaking him the whole time. Like, Josh, Josh, are there like any physical wounds that I see?
No, this time you don't see any physical wounds.
And if I keep shaking him, I turn him on his side, is he waking?
He doesn't appear to wake. Um, you gather that there is something here that you've seen enough to where you feel like something not quite natural has occurred.
Those
And
prayers that Nielia's taught us, I would start saying those over top of church.
okay. As you and Marcia, you lead, you start to kind of utter these prayers over Josh, and once Ethel and Nayeli and Jenny join you together in unison, you feel the what could only be described as the movement of the Holy Spirit, and Josh begins to rouse. Josh, you awaken with that like wretched feeling of like sickness having traveled down your windpipe. Um, it's painful and gross, but you're awake.
Awful lot of people in here for a small tent.
You, we couldn't get you to wake up. What happened?
It was another tree. Wow. Oh, my throat.
such a good actor.
Is I got there was another dream, and I got kind of choked. I don't remember exact. Yeah, my neck really hurts.
Do we need to go back to the hospital?
I don't think so, but water, maybe.
Jenny runs back to grab, a water bottle or whatever and brings it
Mhm.
back. Nayeli looks worried. This this shouldn't have happened. You were attacked again in a dream by an entity?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Whoa. I need to go find James.
I'm sorry, what? Nayeli looks extra confused.
Yeah. Yeah. James was there before I was attacked, and I think tried to help. I don't know.
The newspaper guy was in your dream.
Yeah, we need to get him here now. If you need me to talk to Pastor Young first, I'll talk to Pastor Young, but I think we need to get James out here now.
Joshua, whatever he did, that thing must have followed him in.
Sure. Likely mighta.
You see her like she kind of has that look of like that meme of that lady with all of like the calculations, all the calculus. And she's like, okay, I don't understand what's the importance of bringing him here?
I mean, maybe not bringing him here, but I need to go speak with him. Confirm that that was actually him that entered my dream and not some other entity taking his shape.
Oh, good grief. Okay. Well, mm,
I'll check in with Alex and Benjamin. There should be enough people to cover the perimeters for today.
okay, I don't want you to go alone.
I mean, I got
Um,
my pickup, but if somebody else can spare the day, I think I'll be all right.
Take Marsha.
okay, that's fine. I'll I'll talk to I'll talk to Pastor Young. You go do what you need to do. Um, but we have to tell him that tell James that whatever he did, um, it allowed one of the things we're trying to keep out to get in here. And that's pretty dangerous because there's a lot of vulnerable people here.
A lot of
Uh,
presumptions on her part.
she she leaves the tent, and so Marcia and Ethel and Jenny are there.
Gosh, was James in any of your other dreams?
Sorry, my cat knocked my headphones off my head. Can you say that? Yeah.
Which wants to play too? Um, was James in any of your other dreams?
No, not that I remember.
You
And
said
I
he,
feel like I would have remembered that.
did he seem like he was trying to help or trying to hurt you?
I seemed like he was trying to help, I think. Well, he seems to have much more power there than I did, at least. You know.
Ethel, do you know why Nayeli would be so um wary of James?
Well, I'm not certain. Um, James's family has been part of our congregation for many generations. I'm sure at some time or another, uh, I babysat him or even his daddy when they were young. But um, I don't know, at some point, um, you know, his after his daddy passed, um, I wouldn't say that he, I don't know. It's not that he did anything wrong or bad, but he was changed. And um, recently, I don't know that we have seen him be as engaged with the church, I suppose. I don't know. I don't surely understand Nayeli's concern or worry other than what is some guy, some person doing in Josh's dream.
Josh, if you want someone to go with you, I could go with you. Hold
I
one
mean,
moment. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I heard a bang and a boom in the other room. I thought my husband broke something.
uh, well, there's an extra seat in the truck if you want to come.
I mean, if the pastor's like dead set on you having someone to go, I'll go. I'll even stay in the truck if you want to talk to him. Um,
You mind going sooner rather than later?
yeah, yeah. I think we just finished up breakfast anyway.
Ethel's like, oh, y'all don't worry about the cleanup. Me and Jenny here got it. You two go on ahead.
Thank you kindly.
Well, you may want to shower first, Josh.
Hmm?
Yeah, you kind of threw up all over yourself.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a small pickup.
Yeah.
He just like silently puts his head down and starts walking towards the house.
Meant it in the nicest way.
It just wasn't even registering on him.
That's a
Almost
sign of
got
a true friend, you know?
Hey, you're covered in your own bodily fluids. You should probably wash that before you spend a day doing other things. Thanks, friend.
All right. So, while Josh rinses away the remnants of another terrible nightmare, let's check in on Freya. Oh my gosh, it's been such a long time. When's the last time we had church? We're not at church yet, right?
No.
No.
Not yet.
I was
This
wanting
is
to talk to Josh at church, so I think this is the night before church that I
so
dreamed about.
so okay, so probably this is Sunday morning,
Oh,
which it's okay. So I think like things are so out of like sorts We're gonna say that there's this ping that goes out on like what's the name of our social media platform? Uh,
Whack ass Christian dilemma. I don't know.
I
Jesus
just
Web
always
or
remember
whatever.
Crawler.
Yeah.
Well, I can
Well,
only think of
Crawler's like the fun, cool
it's
one,
the
right?
secular one. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So on like FaithNet or whatever the fuck, a ping goes out saying like, you know, the as the conditions around the end of days continue to evolve, today parishioners should connect to connect to church from like Zoom or whatever to
Oh my god.
this is post pandemic church or whatever,
Remote.
remote church. And then so we'll say that Marsha and Josh, y'all receive that ping as you are kind of loading up into the pickup. Unless you really want to fucking be there for remote church. Okay, I'll take that as a no. Um, so it is Sunday morning. Willow, you have collected a bunch of documents, right, about James's genealogy.
Hmm. Hmm.
The documentation clearly proves that what did we say? I can't remember if we said you succeeded or not.
Yep, we did because I
Okay,
talked
okay.
to the historian and we found all the copies of the documents.
All right, so it's like really clear that James definitely is related to the prophet by way of the prophet's brother, James being, a descendant.
Right.
Um, Now what?
I don't think I want to. I want to let James cool down for a couple of days. Um,
In the
so I think I'm
void.
I'm just
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just prepping for church and just to get ready for being a slightly disappointing day because I don't get to go to church. But eh.
Oh, okay. What about Freya? Um, Freya, you have been kind of like on this slow spiral inward. It's kind of like being on some kind of like horrible, culty, um, like lazy river drawing you ever inward. Um, and the last thing that you kind of interfaced with was like an anonymous message that was like, hey, if you want to know more about this stuff, you got to get in and you got to get into a women's group or a men's group. Um, any July, it's Sunday morning. You get a ping that you don't have to be in at church physically. Um, how does Freya respond to that?
She's actually a little frustrated because feels like it's going to be harder to try to get into women's group without having it's like mixed feelings. Like part of her is frustrated. So she feels like it might be harder getting into women's group without having that physical, like, real life interaction. But at the same time, she's really fucking happy that she doesn't have to sit in those god awful pews and pretend to pay attention and be a good, churchgoer. It's much easier to fake if she can like just chill at home in some sweatpants.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Um, Let's see. Um, during um during the dream fuckery, did y'all connect about like where you were gonna meet or how you were gonna meet or what have you, or was it just like let's talk? Josh and James.
Oh, am I awake? I thought I was still in the void.
You are, but I'm wondering what you had planned before you got yeeted.
Oh, my plan was not to be in the void. So since that's already failing,
Okay. I'm wondering if there's a way for them to find you. I mean, maybe there isn't.
I'm in my house. Yeah, like they can.
Okay, you're at home.
Yeah.
And do you, Josh, would y'all know, y'all, I don't know if y'all would know where his house is.
Is
Is
there a
there?
church registry?
Yeah.
We're at Pastor Young's house. Like,
Yeah. So you wanna ask Young, hey, we're looking to go to his house.
yeah,
Yeah, Young whips out his mobile or whatever. It's like, yeah, this is this is the location. You notice Pastor Young looks super fucking haggard. Where like his wife, Nayeli, looks like a lot more like she looked worried earlier, but she kind of looks like a little bit more confident and more um like less fearful, less anxious. He kind of looks kind of like a husk of the sort of like dashing, confident, kind of good old Texan guy that you've known. He's like, yeah, yeah, just here's the address. Be careful messing with this stuff. It's I can't wrap my head around any of it. Just be careful and please come back soon.
do our best.
All right. So, James, um, as you float in the void, um, you are um kind of taunted by that thing. You hear its kind of smug laughter kind of echoing as you are kind of suspended in darkness. Marsha and um, Josh, the two of you, arrive at James, do you sleep where the office is or no?
No, I sleep in
That's
my
not your apartment.
yeah my household home.
Oh, okay, okay. So they pull up to your home and and what happens next?
I imagine Josh just goes right up to the front door and like knocks.
You want Marsh to come with you or wait in the car?
Yeah, you can come with.
Okay.
There's no response.
Maybe he's not here.
Cars in the
Tries
drive.
the doorknob because the car's in the driveway.
Doorknob's locked. I don't trust the church.
Josh is gonna peek in. Is it a 1 story, 2 story?
Texas, 1 story, probably ranch style.
Likely. Okay. Then I'm gonna see if I can see into any windows, or do you have all your blinds drawn?
Blinds are drawn, but they're like that kind of like waifishly like thin, kind of old style, like can't really block out much.
Am I able to locate your bedroom? Checking in the windows around the side?
I'm assuming it's
Let's roll.
Roll?
You can roll to investigate or to observe.
Um,
Can I help? Because I'm with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it roll to help or hinder,
oh.
and the ability. What are you gonna roll, Josh,
you said observe or what was it? Investigate?
or investigate? Yeah.
I'm gonna observe.
Okay. So then, you can roll, Kimmy, help or hinder, and then the ability will be perception, I think.
Okay. Partial.
Okay. So, Josh, you can give yourself a +1 on your observation. Okay, you can ask me a couple of questions on these about this. That's a resounding success.
What's my best way through this?
Okay. Give me one more.
What should I be on the lookout for?
Okay. Um, Even though it is the middle of the day, you, as you are, kind of looking around, trying to observe and, figure out, okay, like, what's going on here? Where the fuck is James? Um, you hone in your senses, or rather than hone in, you open your senses and, look around, kind of like suddenly very attuned to the possibility of danger. Um, and you, um, in in the distance, a couple of like houses down, you, hear like a trash can being pushed over, and um actually you actually see something bulky and kind of like blurry because it's kind of far and moving kind of quickly, um but something big and bulky and kind of whitish, um kind of moving around in someone else's yard. One. Two, it strikes you as a real possibility that, um you know that you I think you have gotten a chance now to talk to Cole, right? I think so. And y'all compared notes about your nightmares.
Yes.
So you're thinking, hey, people are passing out and like unable to wake up. It's possible that this is something that's happening to James.
So what is my best way through this?
You may need to break in.
Okay.
B&E.
Okay. Um, I'm going to toss the keys to Marsha and say, get in the truck and keep it running. I need to get inside real quick, and I don't think you need to be involved in case anyone's home watching.
Gosh, you're not about to rob him, are you?
Get back in the truck. And then he hops over the fence to go into the backyard, I imagine, or I guess runs around the side of the building to go into the back.
Okay.
And then if there's a back door entrance,
hmm Yeah, there's a back door.
um, I imagine a swift kick right at the door handle should pop it open.
Roll to act under pressure, and you have a +1 to this from your successful observation. Uh, Partial success. All right, so you are able to kick the door open. It like smashes open. I'm gonna say that James has like an alarm system, and that the alarm system starts to go off.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would.
Seems likely enough, right?
Does it wake me up though?
No.
Okay. If
Wee
I
wee wee wee
start
wee.
immediately popping open doors, there's likely not a basement, right?
No.
No basement.
Texas, no basement. So I'm gonna start opening quickly until I find like a closet where there should be like a circuit breaker.
Okay.
And then as soon as I find that circuit breaker, flip the circuit, just kill the power to the building. So hopefully that kills the alarm.
Little did you know, cellular backup.
Wee wee
You
wee wee
asshole.
wee.
God damn
And
it.
uh,
What's the likelihood that Josh has a cell jammer in his truck? It's
um,
probably in the tent. Let's be honest. I didn't
probably in
bring
the
it with
tent.
me.
Damn.
Like, okay,
Uh,
so I think what would be kind of funny is if like you're going through like the different rooms in the house and you like open the door and then you see James who's like half fallen out of his bed, unconscious, like with his head on the ground, legs splayed to the side, like all tangled up in his covers, and then you just go, and then shut the door and then keep looking for
yep.
the breaker.
Gotta find that circuit breaker. I'll deal with James after I turn off the alarm.
The alarm persists.
Fuck. Then I'm going to try to go back to where James was
Mhm.
and grab him and like fireman carry him to the truck.
Roll to act under pressure. You will continue to get a +1. It's kind of romantic.
Yeah, I just feel it's really going to be confusing when
Oh,
like
that's not great.
the cops get here and they're like,
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that you actually like you've got him, you're running, you go like you run towards the front of the house, and then you're like, oh fuck, it's locked. And then you run back out the back and back into the street. And as soon as you get out there, you see that big, blobby, spindly, like spindly limbed creature, like you've seen attacking
Hmm.
with Marcia and Ethel before, this time in broad daylight, and it's starts to like gallop towards you and Marcia and James.
Okay, hopefully the truck is hot. And I'm just gonna throw James gently with lots of love and care straight into the bed. Just like
oh,
Not even the cab.
not even
no,
the
he's
cab.
going into the bed. We gotta move quick. I'm literally like I imagine he's over one shoulder and I just like huck him into the bed, hop over the side
Sack of
with him,
potatoes.
like grab a shotgun that's on the rack in the back bed, like rack one, and just like tap on the window. Go, 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 go. And I'm gonna start popping at the fucking creature as we
Marcia,
like drive away.
Marcia, so you are kind of nervously in the truck. You see Josh running out with James, carrying James, throw him into the back of the pickup, and he goes, "Go, go, 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 go." Do you go?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll to act under pressure.
Okay.
No bonus.
Success.
Success. You fucking hit the gas and you know, heal out. Um, that horrible blobby thing, you can see it, kind of snarling and drooling, as it follows the pickup. Um, Josh, go ahead and roll your roll to engage in combat.
Hang on one sec. My sheet's not working.
Oh, no worries.
As
There we go.
as we're driving, Marcia's saying the Lord's Prayer as she drives.
Aw. Um, well, Marcia, let me give you a tip. You might want to skip the Lord's Prayer and try um, some of the newer prayers you've been taught by Nayeli.
Well,
Um, okay, so let's see. You uh manage to put a bullet in the thing's side, but it persists in following you, um, and it manages to um, kind of like leap up and land uh, in the bed of the truck. Josh, go ahead and roll to avoid injury or avoid harm.
Partial success.
Okay. The thing attempts to bowl you over, knock you down. Um, it fails. But your shotgun gets knocked out of your hands and into the road.
Okay.
can I do engaging combat to make like a sharp turn or something to try to throw it out the bed of the truck?
Fuck yeah, you can. I'm gonna say that, yeah, you can try to engage in combat. Do
Can I
you,
try to help if I
yeah,
notice the truck moving in a direction by like trying to give it a kick in that direction?
yeah.
You know?
And Marcia, do you give a warning? Like, hold on tight or whatever.
Yeah, for
Okay, okay.
sure.
Perfect. So Marcia gives the warning. Josh, go ahead and roll help or hinder.
Violence.
Violence.
Oh,
Success.
+2.
+2 to your roll, Marcia.
probably definitely need that. Okay.
Partial success. So, you are you you are able to knock the creature off and onto the road, and it just goes like rolling off into like somebody's fence, and it just like squishes and is kind of broken open and is you've gotten rid of it. But during your sharp turn, Josh is like kicking the thing to get it off of the truck of the bed of the truck. Meanwhile, James is like flopping around and he
He's fine.
he
He's
he
fine.
he hits his
What's
head.
a little minor traumatic brain injury or two? You know, it's
He
fine.
hits his bread and endures a concussion. Well, actually, let's see. James, you are unconscious, so you'll do this at a -2 penalty. But go
Sure.
ahead and
Seems fair.
So
roll to endure injury.
I already have a -2 penalty for neurotic. Do I just keep that? Is that fine?
Yeah, why not?
And I'm enduring injury. Okay.
Yeah.
How much
To
harm did I
James'
suffer?
lifeless body just rolling a
You
dice.
suffered 2 harm.
I failed.
Oh, ouch. All right.
I'm
So
already
choose
knocked
one.
out, so I'll take that one.
Okay. So you continue to be knocked out. And we'll say you also have endured a whatchamacallit, a concussion.
Yeah.
So, Marsha, where do you go? Where are you driving to?
Church.
Church.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's there. It's
Yeah,
Sunday,
I love that.
and I don't feel like we can go
Yep,
to the Young's house.
it's better than anything I had. I love it.
So, you very wisely, instead of drawing James to like the Bucky's parking lot or whatever, like behind by the trash compactor, you do the wise thing and you head to church. Okay. You arrive there. Everyone is alive.
What the hell? Where did that thing come from? Is it after James? Did it follow us?
Um, you're asking questions I don't think I got answers to. Um, hopefully this guy does. If he wakes up, give him a little tap on the face,
Bruce
slight
swelling on
little
the
leg.
head.
Yeah. Hmm. That's gonna hurt when he wakes up.
Are y'all hanging in the parking lot? Or are you moving into the vestibule? I don't know what a vestibule is. I just said it. I know it has to do with churches.
Oh man.
Is that right? Is that like the entrance to the church?
Yeah, like a vestibule.
Yeah,
It
it's
is, right?
the
It's the entrance to the
outer
church
door
or
of a
no?
building. It's the
It's
Yeah.
like,
lobby. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
It's correct.
Okay, okay. Okay, so y'all go into the church. You are like carrying James together, I imagine. Marsha, are you I will give you the tip that, saying certain incantations worked for getting Josh to snap out of it.
Yeah, once we laid him down, if we laid him like on a pew or something, I would try the same thing. Say the same things I said over Josh to James.
Again, you feel that like some spiritual um burgeoning, and as you utter your utterances, like fill the air, James begins to awaken.
Oh wow. What the fuck? Oh, is it Sunday already? I kind of
Yep.
look at Josh and I'm like, I thought the deal was I protect you in the dreams, you protect me in for real. Oh, how the fuck did this happen?
Well, I'd say in perspective, it'd be a lot worse than what could have happened. And let's always keep that in mind, my friend.
Then I'm thankful. Do we got an ice pack?
Looks at um, Marsha
Real?
shrugs.
Okay. Does this church have a kitchen?
Yeah,
Indubitably.
Okay, I'll go check the kitchen, see if there's ice.
Marcia, you actually find like a first aid kit in the
Oh,
kitchen and ice.
I'd bring all that back for James.
Hmm.
Before she gets back, do you have anything you want to say to me, Josh?
Well, what happened? Where'd you go?
Your friend who had you in the chair and I had a conversation. Problem
Yeah?
is he wasn't really receptive and just kept laughing. I may have. I may have been a little bit overzealous. Stupid.
Mm.
Not quite safe enough in that.
Little arrogant with those newfound powers.
Yeah, it's a way of looking at it, I guess. I was able
So,
to
yeah.
stop it, whatever it was, from staying with you. I thought I could maybe stop it from doing anything, but either it was able to reshape what we were doing, or was able to pull me somewhere I don't know where we were.
Hmm.
Once she gets back with the ice pack and first aid, ice pack's all he knows what to do anything with, so he'll take that and thank her. But he's also kind of like weirded out by her being here. And once it kind of comes to that he's in the church's vestibule, and nobody else is in the church. Kind of looks around and he says, the short version. How did we get here? Or how did I get here? Why am I in pajamas?
Well, we tried to call, and you didn't answer, so we drove to your place, saw this like white creature with big long limbs, and knew that's what had attacked us before. So I kind of made an executive decision and entered your domicile and evacuated your persons from the domicile a bit forcefully, and for that I apologize. And may have used the bed of my pickup truck and shotgun and some incredible driving, I will say, Marcia, to get us all safely here to the church and away from said creature.
Okay. Yeah, but is it
Yeah,
Sunday? How long was
yeah.
I? Where's everybody?
Church called a virtual meeting. Everything going on with the everything. That's someone higher up than you and me made that decision. So I figured I wasn't gonna see you here. Well,
Well,
initially,
you
but
made
here we are.
you made it happen, Josh, and that kind of can-do attitude really. I'm glad I picked you.
You said I was in charge of the real world, and I got us to the church Sunday.
Just like I asked.
Yeah.
So,
Again, very sorry about your
uh,
back door and the
uh,
problematic conversation you're likely gonna have with the authorities.
uh,
Quite the alarm system you got in your
yeah. Well, um, long story on that one.
Oh,
Which we'll go over. Sure.
love to hear it.
I'm sorry. Uh, Hi, Marcia. We haven't talked much.
Hi, James.
How are things?
Very much as you see him. Seems to be our day to day recently.
How much did Josh tell you about our meeting?
All he said was that we weren't able to wake Josh this morning and found him in his own vomit in his bed.
Yeah.
Um, and upon saying the same prayers we said over you, strangely enough, that are not the Lord's words, um, you both awoke, and the first thing he said was that he needed to see you, and that you were helping him
Hold on a
or
second.
trying to help.
Marcia, back up a second. Keep in mind, I don't know how, but I got hit in the head. Also, I was fighting some sort of blood demon in the void. So, excuse me if I'm a bit groggy. I just want to rewind a bit back there. You said you said a prayer over me and over Josh that weren't the Lord's words.
No, not any that I've read in any good Christian Bible.
Where did you learn them?
Nayeli has been teaching me them.
Uh,
She says that they're wards of protection, and they seem to work for a little bit, and then
did they say them over Josh before he went to sleep?
no.
They didn't do anything to protect the house or anything?
We did to protect the house.
Look over at Josh.
I should have been protected ever since that first night when we set up those protections. I've been safe until you showed up.
You've been doing your job. Do you feel like you've been getting the same in reciprocation from those prayers?
I mean, up until last night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either I'm more powerful than them,
Hmm.
no, or whatever that thing was is more powerful than both of us. Guess we just need to compare notes. Um, I need to get back to my house. I know, obviously, situations as they stand, you probably aren't exactly wanting to return to the scene. However, I can promise you that I will not press charges, and I will tell them to turn away, and that everything's under control here. It's just a misunderstanding. A wild animal is trying to kill me, and you, a good neighbor, saved my life. Sound good?
I suppose. We'll see what they say. Josh kind of smiles.
Are you sure you want to go back right away? I mean, we don't know if there are more of those creatures. No one's coming into the church today.
Did somebody say something about the creatures yet, or is this the first mention of a creature?
I believe that Josh did mention that something gross
Yeah,
and scary was chasing you,
Okay.
chasing
big white
Trevor.
creature with long limbs that had attacked us before.
So I have no pants on, so to speak. There are certain articles back at my house, my phone, um, my other phone, um, my cigarettes, and the like that I would like to get a hold of that might help me deal with problems that have arisen since I woke up or during my waking up process. You may show some good sign of wisdom there, maybe not right away, but I would prefer to get my things and have them with me before kind of migrating anywhere else from here. Like that would be where I would want to go next. But I don't know what these creatures are like. So I'll look to Josh. I'll take your wisdom on it. I know I need to deal with the AST people, and I also got to deal with law enforcement since they're probably over there wondering what's going on. And probably don't want to draw too much attention to a member of the church because we know that the upper management will probably be shitting bricks about it. So, the sooner we can quell it, the better.
I feel safer about going back to get your stuff with you than sending you alone. That's for damn sure.
I feel a lot safer going with you as well. Um, Especially if you think
This
that...
time we'll take the cab, not the bed.
Well, I
Just
hope...
kind of smiles at him.
I hope the seatbelts work. I gotta prop myself up. You see James kind of like,
Yeah.
when he gets up, kind of like adjust because like the pajamas are like, you know, kind of floaty around the like he's definitely like wearing the stuff that he would be sleeping in. So like he's a
Yeah.
good Christian guy, so he's kind of like, you know, very modestly kind of like shying away around Marcia at this point. Like it's very kind of like a demure kind of like and very carefully walking. Like he was very, he had a sense of like confidence while he was sitting there talking, but the second he gets up, it's like, uh,
Aww.
uh, I'm scared. what if my stuff falls out? So he'll head on
Oh
over to
my
the truck.
God.
I mean, you just woke him up out of bed. Like, you threw him over your shoulder. He's scared.
I made a decision, is what I did.
And it was a good decision.
He's a scared little guy.
Let's see the aftermath.
Should I wait here while you guys go? I don't think the truck can it take three?
No, I think it's probably a four-seater.
Yeah.
I imagine it's a big truck. I imagine it's stupidly big and like raised with like a full two-bed cab or
Does-
like two-row cab.
Does it got one of those like middle like the like raisable like armrests, but they're also like you could fit a whole like
Oh, I'm
library's
sure.
worth of garbage in
Yeah,
for no reason.
it's all energy drinks.
Yeah. Well, this is nice. He gets in. Uh,
Okay.
is there a gun on the rack in the back, or was that the shotgun that got thrown away?
I imagine there's more than the shotgun that was there.
Of course,
You gotta have a long rifle and a couple of handguns. Like, there's, different situations arise.
We just wrote to the same equation.
Different situations do arise.
Like,
So the three of you pile into the truck, and head back to James's house. Yeah, Marsha, you going with him?
Yeah, if there's room out.
Okay. Um. Willow, you get a text um from the prophet
Oh,
that is a couple of pictures of like James's block with of like they're like these pictures of the block like swarming with police cars and a fire truck, and there's a question mark.
am I about to get blamed for this? I'm gonna text back and be like, no idea. I'm going there right now, and I'm just gonna haul ass over to Jane's house with the documents in tow just in case. But I don't really plan to show them right now.
Okay. So as the three of you pull up, so does Willow.
Okay.
Oh, wait, can I do a thing?
Yeah, always.
Okay. I don't know if you remember, but I was going to meet Freya for lunch after church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna send her a text to say that something's come up and that unfortunately I can't make lunch today.
Okay.
So James is in the back seat or in the front seat of the truck?
I feel
it
like
feels really problematic to say this, but I imagine I'm driving here in the front seat and the Marsha's in the back.
Were you gonna say the woman?
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, you and her are closer than you and James, right?
Yep.
So like, there's
yeah,
also that.
and sexism is pretty powerful. Now, here's the other piece. I kind of like the image of like Marsha and Josh, especially Josh being younger, being like the parents, and then like James being like the little kid in pajamas in the back.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute. I think James would probably be in the back because of the pajamas. Like, it's
Right.
kind of awkward
That's
to
fair.
be riding shotgun and be like in
If
your
that's
night
the
clothes.
case, he's very nosy and paranoid, so he would ask immediately, "Who are you texting?" to Marsha.
Oh, nosy.
Oh, Freya, I was supposed to have lunch with her after church today, and
Oh, right, you're her buddy. Can you just tell her to meet at my place?
okay.
If you were planning on meeting
Are the
her
groups
anyway.
converging?
I would
So I
send
feel like,
text.
oh, go on.
I was just saying I would send the text that James requested.
Feel like this would raise some red flags because first off, Marsha would never back down from doing something that would make her look good in the church, like befriending Freya more and getting close to
Mhm.
her. And also the fact that she's talking about James, she's like, I don't even think she knows that those two even know of each other's existence. So she'd be really fucking confused. But she'd go out of like sheer curiosity.
Do you text James to see what he would respond? Because he doesn't have his phone. He doesn't have his
Yeah,
phone.
I feel like she'd be like, WTF question mark? And then just be left undelivered.
Yeah, screen cap.
So it's funny because it is very much like your cool friend that smokes cigarettes is never supposed to find out about like your uptight church friend. They're never supposed to
Hmm.
cross. And this is like exactly what's happening right now. So
She's got me in my
It feels
pajamas.
very wrong.
She got me
it's wrong.
And
dragging
he's
me
half
out.
naked.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's half naked.
So when we get there, is it the scene that you described on the picture to Willow? Like the cops
Yeah.
are all about? Okay, so I'm gonna pop out like I own the place, and
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
do.
I'm just gonna walk towards the cops, with my hands kind of like up in the air, but let everybody else like do what they want to do before I.
Oh, I stay in the truck with my hands on the fucking wheel.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I've done this shit before. Like
Draw no
Josh is
attention.
staying cool. His eyes are straight forward. He's not looking to the left. He's not looking to the right. His hands are on the wheel. I am not giving them a reason.
And the irony is that these are like a different brand of shithead cop. So like as they like they see a couple of cops see James and approach him, and then a couple of them kind of like make on eye contact with Josh and kind of give you like the nod, the grin, kind of like flipping up their sunglasses, like, this guy's pretty cool with this big truck and guns in the back. Oh yeah. Um, and shortly thereafter, and shortly, like as y'all are arriving, moments later, Willow arrives. Freya, are you gonna go meet them, or is this too sus?
She doesn't go meet them because she
Okay,
doesn't think James would pull any shit, and she doesn't see Marsha like pulling a stunt. Like,
okay, okay.
not like this. This wouldn't
Not
be
that kind
her
of
like
stunt.
usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Willow like wants to pop out of the car and just be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" But like, yeah, no, I don't want to get arrested or shot, more likely. So we're gonna
I
chill for a
mean,
minute. Let this.
to be fair, let's just be very transparent. Everybody in this group has plenty of white privilege, so you can definitely walk into like an
Mm-hmm.
area with a bunch of Texan
Mm-hmm.
cops and go like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on here?"
I
So Texan
I'm
cops
gonna
are
do
not
that
gonna.
then.
Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna like intercept James. Like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, I'm gonna kind of like do a hand like a stiff arm, and I'm just moving to handle the business. I'm going straight to whoever the authority of the authorities here is.
Yeah, so the kind of like cop in charge, A, is like, "What's going on here?"
My name's James K. That's my house. The one with the alarm probably going off. I can prove it by hitting the passcode. My keys are inside, unfortunately. I'll explain everything. If you'd like me to prove that I am who I say I am, I can punch that code in there for you, sir.
You got any ID?
It's inside the house. It'll show me my face on it.
Can't go inside without any ID. No, I'm kidding. They're like, okay, that's fine. You can punch in the
I
code.
punch in the code as we go to the back, turns off
Woo,
the alarm.
woo, woo, woo,
But I
woo.
also make sure it's hidden, though. I don't show it.
Okay, okay.
No moments of weakness. And then I'll show them my ID, and then I'll explain. Yeah, I was sitting out on the deck, and a wild animal came out of nowhere, and I jumped inside. It broke open the window. It then kind of tried to go around, and I rushed outside, out the back here, and then this gentleman, the gentleman in that big truck out there with his female friend, fellows of the church that I go to, were just driving around, luckily, and I jumped in the back of the truck. Um, they stopped for me. They saw the animal, pulled out the shotgun, shot at it. It kind of ran after us. It was like a, I don't know, I don't know what it was. I'm not an animal guy. Looked like a boar, maybe, like a wild boar. It was crazy, and I bumped my head in the back. And once we kind of let everything like we drove around a bit around the block. We came back. You all were here because of the alarm, which went off because when I went out to smoke, I guess I had set it or it set itself. I don't know. It's newer. Um, anyways, point is, just fast talk.
Okay, so I'm gonna
fast
ask
talking
you
them.
to go ahead and make a roll for that.
Yeah, I'm fast talking them.
Do you have that? Oh
Advantage,
yeah, go
yeah.
for it. Roll it.
Okay,
Is it a rollable?
it should be.
Oh
It's a
no.
failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
So the thing is that you probably could have said less and gotten a better result.
No,
But
say more.
you had that you had to like make that impact. And so the you basically want the NPC to like get the fuck out, right? And leave you the fuck alone. Is that the main idea?
No.
Okay.
I want to make sure you're clear on what my intentions
Hmm.
are here. I'm trying to
Okay.
tell a story that is absolutely inscrutably false, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to make it seem very unobscurely not right. I specifically said I was out on my porch smoking a cigarette. I went inside and then ran out the same door. So the reason
Yeah.
why I'm telling the
Okay.
story incorrectly, I was hoping to get a success, and then I was going to tell you what was going to happen because my goal was
Hmm.
to inspire suspicion so that they look into the animal. Because if they find the weird spindly monster thing, then maybe we'll get a little bit more attention besides weird churchgoers.
Hmm.
But I'm not going to outright say we were chased by a spider monster because I was having dreams with blood demons.
So a failure is they
Them
just
leaving.
they're just like not piecing together your your hints that there is something strange going on, and they're just going to back off and back out.
Correct. But
Um,
my genuine goal, no
mhm,
joke, was to try and
mhm,
get
mhm.
the authorities involved because there is a weird spider demon running around, right? Like that's what was just told to me. So
Yeah.
I want that. I want to see that,
Mm.
but not with just Josh. Like
Right, right. You want it to be unveiled or
right.
revealed. Yeah.
That
Okay.
way I don't have to report on it. The CNN can or whoever.
Mhm, mhm. Okay. The police don't pick up um on your hints, um typical, and they pack it up and roll out. As the last car pulls away, I want to return back to Willow's. Hey man, what the fuck? And as Willow perhaps approaches and goes, "Hey, what the fuck is going on?" Um, at that time, Freya's car pulls up. So let's cut back to Willow.
I want to go find Marsha and just be like the half accusing, half not accusing, like You know, you're supposed to be keeping an eye on things. Yeah, like what happened? I'm getting texts from people I've never even talked to, and they're very mad.
Well, who am I supposed to be keeping an eye on?
I don't actually remember.
I don't know if that ever was said specifically with your Willow around.
Yeah, because wasn't the buddy system announced?
Oh yeah, but that was Freya, was her
Oh, that's right.
accountability buddy. So
I'm gonna retcon that a little bit to we're now in a higher ranking of the church. We should be trying to avoid situations like these.
I think if things didn't happen, James wouldn't be here right now. So it's
So what
unfortunate, but uh, the cops are gone.
so
We
what
should
what did happen exactly?
have you or anyone you know been attacked by any creatures recently?
Yeah, my brother Cole, he's dealing with some things at the moment. I don't understand 100%, but yeah, that's what I've been told.
Yeah, he's joined us at the Young's residence, for safety. Um,
Uh-huh.
but it seems like a creature was. We were here to see James this morning, and Josh, heroically actually, he had to bust in to get James, but he saved James from one of those creatures. That's just unfortunate that there was an alarm and whatever that caused all this attention.
Okay. I need to go. I don't even know if I'm allowed to call the prophet. He
You
texted
don't
me,
you
but I'm
don't need to. They know we're here. They know we're here with James.
does the prophet know or just Isaiah know?
Nieli and the Youngs know. They know we came here this morning to speak to James.
Okay. So I'm gonna text the prophet and just let him know I'm working on it and
Wait, what did the prophet say to you? I don't think we need to say anything to anybody right now and maybe get our bearings first.
I got a text with a picture of all the cops and just a question mark. And that was it. So I don't know what they expect of me, but I think I need to call them.
Are you James's buddy?
I don't think that's how James would classify our relationship.
If you tell them that you're here, they might come here. And I think maybe we should all talk first.
I mean, I can give it like 15 minutes, but they're going to be wanting to know what's going on here.
Willow, you just heard Marsha say something that is fully a defiance of um not only the traditional rules of your faith, but especially the newer rules, which bind you and her very deeply to the inner circles. Go ahead and roll your fanatic disadvantage.
Yep.
Partial
Partial
success.
success.
Okay. Oh, wait. Partial success, but it didn't
It
give
didn't give me a
us
thing.
the thing. Oh no, I'm gonna have to open the book and look at the
Oh
book.
my God.
Oh wait, no, hold on. Maybe it's in here. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Not the book.
Not the book. Okay, disadvantage and what's it called? Fanatic.
Fanatic. Actually, it looks like I don't get a thing unless I get a failure. Yeah, unless I get a failure.
Well, hold on. If so this is so I'm gonna put the corrected one in there. So the one that I had in there was incorrect. This
Ah,
is the correct one. And so you become confused, angry, or frustrated, and you will have a -1 to your next roll. So that's not horrible.
Not horrible, yeah.
I think that's the way you were going too with it
Okay.
already.
But Marshall would kind of clarify, like, there's something going on with Josh, and we're here to talk to James for answers because Josh says only James can help him right now. And I don't want the church, I want Josh some time with James to get some answers before the church descends. That's why I don't want you to let them know right away.
Maybe a little bit more harshly than I mean, since I'm frustrated. I'm just gonna say like 15 minutes. Like that's all I can give you.
And as you turn to be like 15 minutes, that's all. Like y'all see um Freya pulling up.
Freya just sits in her car for a moment because she's really fucking confused.
That's fair.
And as she finally gets out after taking a minute, she just like walks up and just says, "So, is there a church meeting at James's house today? Like, I'm really lost here. What are you all doing together? This is not normal."
Can I have this moment? This is so
Hmm.
perfect. So I wasn't in that scene because I was inside putting on my clothing, becoming ready for putting
Hmm.
on my Sunday best. I'm gonna be walking up at this time with my trilby on, everything going coming up with the group. Overhearing that, I say, "Hey Willow, why don't you tell her the meeting's at my house because I'm apparently the chosen one, right?" Just walking straight
I
up to
want
the
to
group.
clarify that you're the only one that ever said chosen.
You're the one who said that if I go to the church with your information, that they would turn against the head of the church and serve my whim. That was your statement. And I have
Let's
it
take a
Again,
wait,
recorded.
wait, wait. Let's take a beat. So Freya, Josh, and Marsha, y'all just heard James say that he is conspiring with Willow to overtake the church. So we'll let that marinate and let James and Willow continue.
The end of my sentence was, and I have it recorded. And you know I do.
oh, I know you do, but again, chosen one was your choice of
Sure.
words.
What
I
was
don't
what
know.
was
I
your
don't
choice of
think
words
chosen
then?
one applies.
What were your choices of words there? Church
That
leader?
you that you are a descendant of the prophet, and that if you don't like the way, especially if you don't like the way that Isaiah is doing things, it is possible to sway the church in your favor.
Great.
Wait, like, is this like some kind of like dreamland? Because Willow's talking about the church. You're talking about being some fucking chosen one.
I'm not making this happen. This is the waking world. I'd say it. I point at my bruise on my head, pulling the hat up to show it. I swear this isn't me.
I'm so fucking lost right now. Is this making sense to either of you? And she kind of looks at Josh and Marcia.
Can we move this conversation indoors
Sure.
before?
That's probably a good idea.
Why not?
So,
Can
in
I can I just grab some things from the truck real quick?
go ahead.
Runs in, grabs the long rifle, and puts a handgun on his hip, and grabs another one in his other hand.
That's what you're here for, buddy.
I got three.
So, inside the foyer, I just want to make sure this is kind of clear. The foyer, because I would have brought it home, not knowing if they were going to ransack it again. But my dad's typewriter is seated on like the display table in the center of the entrance room. So when you first are let in, Willow, it'll be the first thing that you see, and then I'll lead them into the
I
living
was
room.
okay with that. Like, that doesn't, like it sucks that your dad's typewriter was ruined, but
You mean that my dad
Willa didn't
was
have anything to do with that, so.
murdered by the church, the
Damn,
false
so
prophet.
cold.
Move inside.
Yeah. So I want to clarify. Chosen one was not a word that was used
Sure.
in that original conversation.
Semantics. I apologize for using the term.
James is unhappy quite a bit. I'm sure you've noticed with the church. And I thought that giving him something to aspire to in the church would be helpful. But I fear that I may have turned him down a darker path.
So, for the new people, I just want to make sure we understand. The church killed my father. Um, you may not be aware of that fact. Um, and they also firebombed my or the business underneath my office the other day, and left my father's typewriter as a sign to me, acknowledging that fact that they were willing to do it again. So that's why I'm mad at the church, and wasn't planning on going back again until Willow showed up at my door, and explained to me my lineage and how it might be important. I said that if I were to go back to the church, it might be the case that me and Isaiah came to blows. Uh, I'm certain that I wouldn't have done or fared well, in that I'm not a violent person. Um, but
You hear right at that moment, click, click, one of the Glocks.
but the point is that I know that we are currently being tested, not by the church, but by external events. And the problem with this test is that it is being treated like a game by those who are in a position above us for no reason. Pull out a cigarette, put it to my mouth, and light it. Show me where in the book of God, my copy or yours, where it says this process is illegal, where this process should be condemned, where me smoking leaf of the ground should be considered a heresy. Yet my entire life, since I got back from college, I've had to hide the fact that I am addicted to smoking. My body requires nicotine. I don't serve it more than I serve anything. I go to church. I do everything that it's supposed to be done right, but I also enjoy a cigarette. But where in the book does it say that I can not enjoy the cigarette?
Anyone who wants to like respond to that, um, can roll a like if you want to argue, if you want to agree with it, then then you don't have to roll anything. But you could
Marsha wants to
use
argue for sure.
okay, you can
Engage in
use
combat.
you can well no, how about try
Throws a shoe from across the room.
it's let's say
I will lose that fight.
we use we're gonna use not reason. It's not really reason. I mean, in a way, it is reason. It's knowledge. So do an investigate roll, and if you roll high enough, then maybe you can argue with it. Oh, Marcia, beautiful.
Thank you.
Marsha wins out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcia pops off, bitch. So basically, Marcia, what you have learned about this church is that, like, maybe the King James Bible or whatever doesn't have these rules and regulations, but the texts that are collected from the preaching of the original prophet have those very strict um, prohibitions on things like smoking. So, Marcia, if you want to, you know, that's something that you can respond with.
Okay. And that is something she would respond to. Like, the Bible doesn't talk about smoking, James. Like, I don't understand why you're hung up on that. Uh,
It's a conditionality. It may seem banal. I agree, but it is a conditionality. So, what I mean by that is I am being told from texts that I'm not allowed to see, and from lore that I'm not allowed to know, that my life must be led a certain way. And when I lead it that way, in the case of me, when I take the job that they give me very seriously, and I report on what I see and what's happening in the town, and then they condemn me for it, I become confused. Because I don't know what law I'm breaking, because they don't show me what law I'm breaking. So that's either there is no law that I'm breaking, there is no stricture that I'm kind of stepping over, or they feel bad about something that I'm doing and they want to punish me because of the way they feel about it. So I would like to know which of those it is, and there's a very easy way to figure out which of those two is true. Would you not agree, Marcia? They would just show me the text, right? I would just see the lore that they have, the extra biblical documents. Which, by the way, Willow, how is your search for your documents gone?
It's gone well. I
Great.
have information for you on more than what we discussed. If you want to discuss that here, it's
I'm sure that
okay to discuss that in private as well.
I'm sure that I have some notes that might also line up with what you have. Don't ask me how I came upon them. And I would kind of go to my office in the house and grab the notes that I have that I've gotten from Freya regarding the history of the church, regarding the stories that my father compiled, and bring those into the room and set those out onto the coffee table as well.
I go run out to the car and grab the
Once
stuff
Willow's
from the historian that I found.
once Willow's out of the room, I'm going to kind of lean in towards Freya and say, "You don't have to mention anything about your involvement in the collection, by the way."
How are you two related? Is this like common knowledge that y'all are?
Freya and I.
Yeah.
No, it was very much not known to anybody that the two of you were friends. You were actually
Related.
kind of hanging out in secret.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Marcia, when you lean over to whisper, Marcia's totally. How are you two related?
Maria's not in a good mood. She doesn't know what the hell's going on, so she's just gonna be standoffish and just say, "We're related." That's all you need to know.
Marcia just wants to have a conversation with people today.
Scratches
No,
his head and says, "Marcia, a bit scrutinizing of you, but yeah, we are related, familially." Um,
The audacity to say a bit scrutinizing when, like, who are you texting?
yeah, no, that's why I responded in kind. I said we are
That's
related
funny.
familially.
is it possible that you're not the chosen one and Freya is if you share the same bloodline?
Uh,
Because the
That's
church pushes me on Freya so much
The,
and
ch-
wants to prepare her for something.
the church pushes you on Freya because they have a buddy system currently engaged. They don't trust people who might be wanderers, um, or might be curious, or might not be completely sold on the process here. Um, Things have happened.
Jesus.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Jesus, out of all the like crazy shit I've heard so far, that might be the craziest.
What, that you're the chosen one?
Yeah.
Is
I
it
don't
really though?
think it's easy.
I mean, think
I
about
mean,
what we discussed in our first conversations here. I mean, regarding this. They must have been preparing you for something. Is Willow
Josh,
back in? Because I don't want to talk about any of this in front of Willow.
because Marcia wants to ask Josh, have you ever heard them mention anything about James? But they seem to always want Freya's rapt attention at church and in the church.
If anything, it's been to ostracize him, unfortunately, to be just brutally honest there, bud.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Um, it's been making a lot more sense, and I'm sure it'll make more sense as I learn more about my father. But yeah, I know a lot about Freya as well, and I feel like aren't you're not far gone on that idea, Miss Marsha. Um, you might very well be right. Might be what they're trying to do, is make it so. Kind of lock eyes with Freya at that moment, kind of like, it's not so crazy. Well, I mean, it is crazy, but it makes sense.
And at that beat, Willow returns.
And I'll stop talking about this forever.
I just want to like. I'm not gonna say much at first. I'm just gonna like give the document to James
Okay.
and just be like, "You are you are a descendant of the prophet. You do have a stake in the church."
I guess my question for you, Willow, is I don't want it. I want everyone to be safe. I want to deal with these creatures that are assailing people in daylight now, apparently. Um, I want to help people be able to rest well in their dreams without having to suffer the incursions that folks like Josh have been dealing with. I want to strive to fight that. And I know for certain that you were assigned to me for a purpose. So, like I said, when you came to my house and mentioned this the first time, you've got to give me something to help me believe that you understand where I'm coming from here. If Isaiah killed my father, if the church killed my father, I need to know why that was done, what my father did wrong, so I can avoid that. Not so much so that I can avoid that just to stay in good graces with the church, but if my dad was doing something that was causing these things to happen, unknowingly, I don't want to be a problem or a burden for the church community, or for the world for that matter. I mean, this is a lot bigger than just the church. You've got to know that.
So, Josh, Marsha, and Willow, the three of you are kind of like the closest to the inner circle. And in this moment, you know, um the education that you have received, some might consider it to be brainwashing, perhaps, reminds you that it's true that this is bigger than the church. The world is coming to an end, according to what the church would have you believe. And the only way to move forward in this reality is together under the umbrella of your faith. So whether or not you believe that in your heart, is up to you, but it has been said enough, um, again and again, not only during, regular sermons, but especially during your kind of more cloistered private meetings. It's taking a beat to have that kind of surface. If anybody wants to, keep that internalized or not is up to you.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I wanted to head with it. That like I told you that I found more than what we discussed, and what I discovered is that this church, our church at least, Isaiah, did not kill your father. This was a different generation, a different group of people, people we barely know that did this. I can't tell you why they did it. I wish I could, but I can prove that at the very least it wasn't this church. And I have that document too.
He'll take the document and review it, and probably mid-stride of it, just kind of like pull out another cigarette and light it, trying to be as kind of nicotined up to try and deal with my uh, penalties here. Going full Constantine, I guess. And he'll kind of set it back down into the counter. Okay. So there's a lot of mystery here for me. And this doesn't answer any questions. It just asks more. If that's the case, what was the point of the message they tried to send me by throwing my dad's typewriter into the business beneath my office, beneath my workplace?
That I don't know. I think there's a lot of mystery here for a lot of us to solve.
But do you agree that the problem here isn't me? It's the mystery that they are invoking, the veil that they're forcing over our eyes here? There are secret meetings that are going on with certain church members and not others.
Well, of course there are.
They're creating a compound now.
Isaiah is able to see into the dreams.
Does this not feel like another Waco to y'all?
Damn, Marsha.
I look over at her and I say, I haven't gone to your compound yet, so I can't gauge that fully.
It's quite nice. I feel like I've done a great job.
I'm sure you have.
I mean, I've done a great job. Not to say anything here, but
The point is we are doing things, but we don't even know what we're truly defending against. You said there were prayers from a book you had never read before that were being given to you to pray over people to protect them. And so far as you can understand, the prayers that they were trying to use before to protect people weren't working. So we don't win this by remaining in the dark. We don't win this by trying to remain arrogant over each other and trying to pretend we have authority. We win this by comparing notes and seeing what's the best way forward in this without our petty differences.
I think Freya, you're the only one in this group who really hasn't straight up witnessed some of the fuckery that is being invoked. Sure, you've had these sort of dark memories, kind of spooky recollections that return to you from time to time. But this, like, some of the other things that are being brought up, I mean, you certainly have never experienced uh directly. How do you respond to that? To the idea that there's some, it almost sounds like a war, right? This spiritual war that's happening kind of behind the scenes. And it seems like, your dear friend James, who was so, um, pretty skeptical of it all, seems to have borne witness to some of this. I don't know. How do you respond to that, Freya?
None of this is making sense or clicking for her. Like there are bits and pieces that she recalls.
Hmm.
Um, like she knows that James has had a grudge against the church, but it still feels like it's to a new level now. And she can't believe it's the end of the world. Like she just kind of laughs nervously and is like, you guys really believe this? That's the end of the world, that all this shit is coming together and I don't know what to say.
So we've gone through a bit together, and I understand right where you're at. I was there. I know right where you're sitting. But before the last month, would you have ever, in your deepest of imaginations, imagined that I could step into your dream and talk to you in them?
I mean, that's weird as fuck and creepy, don't get me wrong, but it's a big jump to then say it's the end of the world.
So let's compare notes. I just
I think that maybe if Josh and I share what we've seen, it might help Freya.
Well, I know that you have a lot to share, but I want to make sure there's context so when Freya gets into it, she understands. I want to start first, and I want to make sure that you're included in this, Willow, because I know in my heart of hearts that you're important, right? It really all started when the church announced the third gender, right? This really all started with that. When you were welcomed into the church fully, without it being complicated like most churches are wont to make it. But again, I don't know what that means. And maybe you have some more insight on that. But first things first. Last night, Freya, we talked before last night, and you know my heart was in a bad way. I wanted to kill Isaiah. Right?
Oh yeah, I remember that. That is vividly clear.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought to myself that if I reach into the mind of a churchgoer who I know is capable of violence, at least from what I thought of them, I look over at Josh, just based on my misconceptions. Although, I mean, I'm sure he is capable of great violence, but I don't think it's so uh, mindless anymore. I reached out to his mind last night. I just wanted to see what it would be like, because maybe Isaiah was in there. Maybe Isaiah was messing with him. And the thing we saw in his dream, well, the thing he saw, was different until I pulled the veil back. The thing we saw together, do you remember it, Josh?
I will interject and say that Josh did not see its true nature. Only you did, James. He only saw what what the dream had shaped.
Yep. And so I just asked him to explain, what he
Mhm.
saw.
Just from the dream,
Yeah.
I was a memory of mine and nothing. I, what did what did you see?
When it started to hurt you. Do you remember that?
I was being strangled. Sure.
Yeah. So what he saw there, the pain that lashed out at him, I saw it, and it wasn't human. It was something beyond that. A being of true malice. The best thing I could think to do at the time, and I look to Willow and I look to Freya, and then I look to Marcia and I say, maybe we'll come to your dream someday. But everyone else in here knows what I speak is true. And I look to everyone to kind of hopefully get a nod of confirmation. I was able to pull the thing and the dream away from Josh. But before I did, I asked Josh a favor. If I'm able to protect him in the dream, then he would need to protect me in real
So
life.
I want to interject here really quick,
Yeah.
John, before we persist.
Okay.
So at the end of that interaction, so there's a couple of options here. So
Yeah.
like in reality, you did not really succeed in protecting uh Josh in that dream. You got yeeted before you could, properly intervene to protect him, and it did attempt to kill
Do
him
they
and
know that?
might have killed him. Um, they don't know that.
Okay.
So at this point, if you so do you think
Do
that
I
you
know
were
that?
able? Yeah, does James think that he was able to protect him?
Does James know that he wasn't?
Um, I would say he would know. I think he would know. I think he would realize it.
Would he feel like there was a measure of self sacrifice that would have been aiding?
I think you. I think James would know that you did your best. James did his best, but whatever it was too
Okay, then addendum.
powerful.
Got
Okay.
it. So then addendum. I tried my best to pull the thing away and rip the dream away from Josh. I don't know if I was successful in that or not, and I definitely know I got myself into something I wasn't ready for. Josh is here today, so I don't know if it was because of me. I know I can try and strive to do better. I just it's a muscle. It's something I need to practice. And I promised Josh that I would. I would do my best to protect him in his dreams if he would protect me in real life. And then, yeah, Josh, tell us about this beautiful morning. And Marcia, I'm sure you also have a bit to say too, since I think you were driving.
Oh, hold on. Okay. James, you kind of finish your explanation. We'll take a beat, and then we will come back to Marcia, as Marcia had something she wanted to say. Um, Marcia, are you okay to jump in after we take a little bit of a break?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a break, and then when we come back, we will kind of reintroduce a very handsome and lovable retired professor that has joined us. Okay.
Right.
All right, and we are back. So now we are going to reintroduce um one of our characters, our beloved Cole, um, who is the sibling of Willow. Cole, you are married to Jenny, and the two of you have been living in the compound. Um, with the Youngs. So you were there that morning during um, all of that exciting stuff that was happening with Josh as he was roused. And so here's my question for you, Cole. Are you kind of towing the line of what has been more and more expected of you as a man in this community? So there's a lot of, um, preparing with guns and like target practice and uh, dressing up in camo and like cargo pants. And um, there's also kind of like a separate like a separate sub community happening in the home in this compound, which is led by Nayeli Young, um, who is Pastor Young's wife. That seems to be more on like on top of like tracking supplies and uh cooking meals with the help of their homekeeper housekeeper, and also doing kind of weird mystical things a lot more openly than has ever really been done in this community, lighting incense, uttering prayers that don't really sound like any prayer out of the Bible you've heard. Um, how do you think Cole is sort of responding to this split where the men are being pushed to do this sort of like militia thing, and then the women are kind of gravitating towards Nayeli. No one is forcing you at this point or commanding you to do anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems pretty clear to me that Cole would definitely gravitate toward Nieli because he's interested in trying to find out the truth of what's happening. He doesn't have 100% confidence in the leadership of the church. And it sounds like she's sort of forging her own path in a way. Is that fair?
You are kind of the first, interestingly enough, to kind of land on that. Um,
That's the way it seems to me. It sounds
roll
like she's got.
roll to read a person.
Yeah. Do I still have my stability problems?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. We are going to try to read a person.
You may ask a question. Um,
Of Nayeli
um,
or of you?
yeah. So you're going to ask the question as if you could get a truthful answer from Nayeli, and we'll
Mhm.
see how that plays out in the fiction.
To what extent are you using other, maybe
Well,
non?
here, pick a
Oh, I could choose
question.
one of those questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
from the
Okay.
and you actually get two questions because of your intuitive advantage.
Nice. Okay, we're going to start off with how do you feel right now?
You are able to pick up, based on her body language, that she looks a little bit confused, but she also seems confident.
Hmm. She's confused about the kind of spiritual work she's doing.
She is confused about what happened in the morning,
Okay.
where
This
someone who
incursion
should have
happened.
been, yeah, someone who should have been protected was
Right,
attacked.
right, right, right,
But she seems kind of confident that she can address it and
right.
figure it out.
And it's pretty well known in this compound that they're housing sensitives like coal, right?
Sure.
Okay. Um, what do you wish I would do? Is the other question. Like, and I'm hoping to ask that in a way that would like get past the dogma, because she seems to be like not 100% with the dogma, kind of doing something that's a little different.
So you notice, uh, you notice that she kind of clocks you. She's not used to um having someone like you this close to the inner circle. The men of the inner circle are very stereotyped and are cultivated to be very much one way. And if they're not that way, they're kind of expelled right out into the fringes. So again, you detect her curiosity as, the two of you, or like you kind of join the group of women and like doing different things, and the two of you sort of like move out into like a slightly more private um space, maybe like in the library, and you help her to set up some like what looks alarmingly like an altar that has nothing to do with Christianity. And she says, Cole, um, we have gotten the opportunity to see your family in a very vulnerable place. Um, I've been very grateful to you and to Jenny for trusting um, me and my husband with your safety, and to continue to trust us in this way. You know, I can tell that you are not someone who, I mean, I know it was the conflict between you and Jenny, right? That maybe you had skepticism, or that there was a faltering in your faith. And now I'm beginning to see that as more of a strength.
His eyes would go like a little wide with surprise about that, and he would kind of give a half smile.
There are there are many things that I have learned as I have drawn closer to the prophet. I have seen a reality that has shattered the way I look at the world. And this is all through the direction and the wisdom of the prophet. And yet, as I learn more, I grow to fear that simply having knowledge and power is not the same as having wisdom. I would like you and Ginny, and honestly, as many women in the church as possible, to join me in learning more. This is not something I want widely known to the prophet, even to my own husband or other men in the organization. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay,
I I I trust you. You seem very sincere, and I will help you, but I have something to ask of you as well.
of course.
You have a position of power here, and I would like you to help smooth the way if I'm being asked to be pulled back from this into more traditional um, safety and protection duties. I don't think that's where my strengths lie.
I agree. I'll be subtle. I must be subtle, but I'll do my best.
Your encouragement to Jenny would also go a long way. She's looking to me right now, and she's looking at me carefully. I don't want to disappoint her.
Okay. Yes, I understand. Um, hopefully, I can um I can share with Jenny my vision about an organization um where the wise are the ones to lead, not only those with power and with knowledge. So, okay. Uh, thank you, Cole. I need to get back to my husband. We'll talk later. Okay. So with this, we're going to take a beat. Um, I feel bad because I feel like Cole is left out of this like meeting of the minds that's happening, but maybe that's okay because I think we just got a lot out of this interaction with Nayeli.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to take a beat. We're going to clip back to Marcia. So Marcia, um, there is this kind of like tug of war, I feel like happening in like five different directions right now in this space about like, what is really going on? Who can be trusted? What do we do next? And you had mentioned like maybe we just need to put all of our cards on the table. And James certainly has um, spoken about his um, the bone that he has to pick with um, the church that that destroyed his family and that has ruined um, his progress in his career. And now you and Josh have an opportunity to share what has happened. So to you all. So Marcia, do you want to share?
Yeah, but I think I would mention that Josh, you've experienced the most of this. I think maybe it would be better coming from you. I've just had the experiences with you. Do you want to explain?
Uh, Marsha, I don't got as many words as you do. I
I
mean,
can,
explain, but it's pretty much been the same thing, just like we keep getting attacked by these creatures, you know?
Okay. I can go in more detail if it's easier.
It's probably better.
So I want to take a beat here and remind you of something, Marcia.
Mm.
This is something that you experienced the first time that you encountered one of these creatures back in Ethel's house.
Oh, I
And
remember that.
okay, do you want that? Are you willing to put that card on the table or no?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I was totally going to.
cool.
Um, so after the visions, Freya, do you remember that day in church where uh, I mentioned that I got hit by a car maybe a couple days before?
Yeah, you looked really rough. Of course I'd remember. Well, not of course, but yeah, I remember that.
It wasn't a car. It was one of these creatures that attacked me at Ethel's house with Josh. Um, from that point going forward, it seems they keep coming after us. We went to the Youngs for help. I mean, we didn't know where to go.
Seems safer to be in more numbers, if that makes sense. Being attacked, or at least having Ethel being attacked with just me in the house was not ideal. So that's how it kind of started.
Yeah. And we were going for spiritual guidance and it didn't stop. It came again in the night and attacked Josh. And then Josh started having these nightmares, Josh. And then,
Mm-hmm.
and go ahead.
Oh, I had a nightmare where I was attacked by one of them creatures. Actually dislocated my shoulder. And there was that one creature that attacked us actually at the Youngs that we managed to take down and fight off with the pastor.
Is he still wearing a sling?
No, I went to the hospital and got it popped back in.
Okay, okay.
So everyone's talking about the monsters, but has anyone actually described the monsters to Freya yet?
Not unless you ask.
Okay. So she's gonna do it. You keep mentioning these creatures. Like what kind of creatures are we talking about?
Hmm. Well, there's the one we just saw was like this big white thing with these like long kind of arms.
That sounds terrifying. Are you sure
So
you guys didn't mistake an animal?
This
I
is not
mean, unless some kind of mutated polar bear type thing charged at a full speed pickup and launched itself into the bed and
James will chime in and say, I'm sure that Josh has probably killed more animals than we've seen, hunting and whatnot. Find it very unlikely he's going to mistake something for an animal.
let me take a beat to also like kind of clear something up, at least um for Josh and Marcia. Well, I mean, I guess maybe at least okay, yeah, for Josh and Marcia. So everything that you have seen in real life outside of your dream looks similar. Big blobby body, kind of like toothy, gaping mouth, drooling, snarling, flat eyes on its like kind of bulbous, blobby body, skin kind of like raw chicken, and then like long, spindly, creepy limbs. What you have seen in your dreams, Josh, is very different from that. It's more the first time that you were attacked, it was something humanoid. And then the second time that you were attacked, it seemed like it was just your mom.
Right, because I never actually broke the illusion that time.
Right.
They're demons. They have to be demons. I mean, they even spoke to us the first day. They said my name. I mean,
Just to be transparent, there's no way Freya's buying this without seeing some kind of evidence. Like,
Also, Chisho, does this ring a bell for what Cole and I saw?
No.
so you
You
just had like your grandpa, right?
No, we saw like a dead demon angel thing crawl out of the ground.
um the dead demon. Wait, the thing in the hole?
Granddad.
And yeah, in the national park.
That was I think that was shaped like your grandpa though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good
Yeah.
old grandpa.
I thought that was like a
Bloody
like a
grandpa.
demon angel thing.
Yeah, like it talked like a demon, but it was just your grandpa.
Okay. I think I'm mixing up instances then.
it's just your pops. It's okay.
I mean, that's kind of the trauma of this too, is that it kind of feels like y'all are in the blender of like weird happenings. Um, so Josh, do you share with the group that what you've seen in your dreams and what you've suffered in reality are very different?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Um, Marcia, you mentioned that it said your name. This is news to Josh. And do you mention what else it said?
No.
Okay.
But I would mention someone else recently has joined us at the Young's house, and they've been having, they've been being attacked in their dreams as well.
Hmm.
Who was that?
Cole.
Look over at Willow. Are you related?
Yeah, he's we found some of my grandfather's old journals. We've had them for a long time, but something about them is we're reacting to it differently now. Things have come out of the journals. They've attacked Cole. He's been attacked in his dreams. I've seen things.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of it means.
I don't
But
mean
yeah,
this to seem rude or anything, Willow, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to trust much that's going to come out of you. Do you think?
I mean, you
I'd
looked
be-
at me for an explanation, though.
Do you think that I'd be able to get more out of Cole though? And I kind of look around the room like not knowing a lot about Cole personally.
Did Cole share with us that it was his grandfather when we met him that night
I don't think
in his dreams?
I don't know.
I don't recall.
I don't believe that was the case.
I don't.
Cole, did you kept like the information related to your grandpa and the journals close to your chest?
I think I did initially, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I like text Cole and tell him that stuff's going down? Get over here.
I think I would respond that he told us about his dreams, but he didn't say anything about his grandfather being.
So just to be paranoid and maintain consistency, the second Willow's phone comes out and they start texting, James is like, "Who are you texting?"
I'll be honest. I'll say Cole.
Okay.
Um,
I'll
but
look
I'm
at
gonna
it.
take a. It's been about 15 minutes now. Yeah.
I'll look at them and I'll say, okay. And just trust
What are
me.
you gonna what are you gonna say to the church? You said we have 15 minutes before you text them.
I'm gonna. I guess I'm just gonna tell them that I'm working through it, that the situation's de-escalated now, and hope that's enough.
What do you mean? Because James isn't aware of the text that you got from the church.
I don't think I would elaborate on that too much.
Marsha would snitch. Uh,
Come through, Marsha.
um, Willow was sitting here by the church,
Yeah.
and they're waiting for a response to see what's going on here.
Oh, great.
Although half of the church knows that we're here, at least knows that me and Josh are here, the Youngs do. The prophet is, I guess it's the prophet's directly.
So, does anybody else know Cole very well? Because, again, I don't trust Willow as far as I can throw them. And
Hey, I'm pretty light.
I'm not Josh, so I'm not able to huck a sleeping person around like I'm assuming you did. Rub that head again. Um, but
I
does
mean, we
anybody?
can get Cole here, I'm sure.
Willow, I don't mean to be rude. If you're going to text the church, go on and do so and tell them what you feel is necessary. I just want to see if the measure of Cole is different. I need to know where he would be coming from if I were to invite him into my house. Does that make sense?
I think
I mean, I
close.
feel that we're all here. We're all
Yeah, you're
laying
here
things
just
out,
because you
so
kind of followed us in. I'm not
Wow.
Oh my God.
A lot of shade there.
trying to be terrible. I do thank you for the documents you found here and everything. And in a couple of respects, you have.
Hold on, let's take a beat. Hold on,
Good.
Marsha. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, just that I don't know Cole as much as I know his wife, and she's mentioned that he struggles with his faith. But I know that what's happening to him and his nightmares have really shaken him up to the fact that he's come to the Youngs. Like, she
Mom
comes
said.
to the church more than he does. He's, like I said, struggling with his faith. So if you're wondering if he's drank the Kool-Aid, I'm pretty sure.
Fair. Out of character, I was fishing for something that was a deep cut. Anyways, I was hoping that Freya was going to remember her conversation with him outside the church. It was a desperate attempt for a.
That would have been a deep callback for
Yeah,
sure.
I was just fishing. I should have said it out of character, but yeah, I'll leave it open there.
But I think Marsha makes a good point. I mean, I think Marsha brings in a good you know, if you're worried about whether or not he's a true believer, guess what, bitch? He ain't.
Well, I would like to talk to him then, I guess. Because he might have some questions regarding the faith that I'm also having, and maybe we can try and work through how we ask those questions appropriately.
Willow, do you text the prophet first or your brother first?
definitely Cole.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Willow.
We're having
What do
church
you
at James's house.
what do you text, Willow?
I just want to put like urgent James House and then an address. I don't want to put like we're meeting to talk about the church, but yeah, just so he gets the general picture.
Cole, how do you respond?
Be right there.
Okay. And then you leave, jump in the car, head out.
Yeah, I would say something to Jenny before I left,
Okay.
just that Willow wants to talk or wants to meet up, so I'm just gonna go see what's up with him.
All right. Sounds great. Nayeli told me the two of you talked,
Yes,
and I'm glad that you are receiving spiritual counseling for someone that's so evolved and knowledgeable. Um, I really I really trust her interpretation of the scripture. Um, and I feel a lot safer here,
good.
don't you?
I do. And I'm really coming to respect Nieli. I think that she has a lot to offer.
All right. Well, don't take too long.
Okay,
We're putting together a great dinner, so, be back soon.
can't wait. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Bye. So, I want to, I have like this image in my mind of all five of you sitting around in James's living room, silent, staring
Dead
at each
quiet.
other, rubbing like Freya like rubbing her arm awkwardly, trying to avoid eye contact with Marsha.
I feel like Freya at some point would ask, like, so y- you guys haven't been taking anything, or like, just cautiously putting it out there, like,
That is
Freya.
so fair.
I look at Freya and I say, I have actually been taking sleeping pills,
What?
drinking heavily, smoking, which was a habit I thought I had under wraps for a little while, and the like. But nothing psychedelic or anything.
Josh and Marsha.
okay.
No, never. Um, ever. I know it seems unbelievable. I don't want to believe this myself. If I hadn't experienced it, I would be questioning it. I'm questioning a lot of things lately.
Marsha said, "Liquor never touches these lips."
That's right.
I do want to circle back to a question you asked. Um, you asked how how do we believe this, and you're obviously by your question here, you're asking it again, but in a bit more of a sarcastic way. I just want to make sure you understand. I'm not crazy. I don't think Josh or Marsha are crazy. Um, so I don't think that we've seen things in our dreams or in real life. I haven't seen anything in real life. Do I trust that Josh has? Yeah. Yeah, I would. I don't see why he would lie. I don't see how it would benefit him here. And Marcia says she's seen it as well. And she's openly made jest about the church and its aims. So if she was worried about that being an issue, she wouldn't have done so in front of Willow.
Willow definitely took notice of that.
Yikes.
So what I want you to what I want to ask you, Freya, and it's just a simple request. And I know it's going to be hard for you to think about it this way. Do I think that the end of the world is nigh, as has been said? Do I really think that's true? I don't know what to think because I don't know what's being hidden from me. And I know that things are being hidden from me. And I want to know what that is. If it really is the truth that this is it, this is the end of the world, and that's what they're hiding from us, I want to meet it face first, head on. I want to do what I can to protect those that I can protect with what power and ability I have. Kind of give Josh a bit of a half-hearted nod, and then I assume let Cole in. Hi, welcome to the K household.
Well, you enter into the space. Um, James has this like inflamed bump on his head. Um, it's like it doesn't look like it tore open and bled, but it is looking bruised. Um, you see Freya is there. You see and um Marcia and Josh, who you've talked to before about some of the disturbing events that you have all
Mhm,
experienced,
mhm,
and you see your sibling.
mhm. He would walk in surprised and say to Willow, "Oh, this is not what I was expecting, Willow. Is this some sort of intervention, or is this the former True Believers Club?"
After snapping
This is a
his
retirement party.
Hey.
after snapping his Zippo shut, Kay would turn and look at Willow and say, "Tell him everything." And then
Cole's aware.
well, no, 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 everything that we talked about. Tell him everything that's transpired here. Get him up to speed. And I'm listening to the way that Willow tells Cole because I want to see how much they try to keep out of the. How much they wish to kind of hold back from Cole. To
I
see if
don't
there's
think we
any
can hold
kind of.
anything back for Cole.
Yep. And that's what I'm trying to gauge here. I'm just trying to see how far the depravity lies.
No, I would definitely tell the truth to Cole. And I feel like in the spirit of laying things out on the table and hopefully to gain a little bit more trust with James, I would also fill Cole in on what I left out when I was brought into the inner circle. So I'd tell him about the herbs I was given to burn, about the new Bible, how the prayers don't make sense, but like, I mean, Willow's drank the Kool Aid. They're not changing anytime soon. So it doesn't make sense. And Willow has questions, but like, they're still very much faithful. I'd lay everything out.
And when that part is mentioned, James would say, "That's what I needed. Just need you to give me something," and then he'll just go off to the back and just let people talk.
So there's a lot we don't know, but we know something I think we'd all agree on is that what we've all experienced is not part of what we expect from this from our faith. And he would just wait.
Beat. This may be true for Freya and Willow and for James, who grew up in this faith, which was very kind of like a very spicy variant of reformed
Hmm.
Christianity reformed. But for Josh and Marcia, I mean, they really have jumped in, right as everything was popping off. So maybe for them, they might not think that. So I don't know how people would respond to that.
So, just to be
Even
sure.
for Willow, like,
Oh, sorry, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was going to say, everything's on the table, including the grandfather stuff. Is that true?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then everything with the James and the father situation also on the table.
Okay.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, do you think do you think we have the same problem here?
What problem do you think that is?
Do you think the church killed your grandfather?
Um, I think that that is certainly one conclusion that you can draw. Another was that he somehow meddled in forces that he didn't fully understand, and was somehow consumed by them. I hope, James, that you don't have the same fate. Um,
Shots fired.
so I think Willow can attest to the fact that the church leadership is not telling us everything, that there is a separate doctrine that they don't wish non-insiders to know about. So there are lots of unknowns. And I guess my big question is, what do we do about it?
You speak from a position of, uh, I don't mean to, you know, come to blows here in verbiage, but the way you said that, it was um, a bit pointed. But you researched these journals and played with these journals of your grandfathers without knowing what they were. So we're much more akin than you and your statement of me falling to some fate would lead anyone here to believe.
Listen,
Regard-
we don't need to argue about that.
Regarding that, though, where are the journals? Have you given them to the higher ups? Are they already in their hands?
Only one
Where are the rest?
hidden away, and the church leadership doesn't know about it.
I don't want them either, so don't think that's where my angle is here. They want them though. Do they
Yeah,
not?
they do. Sure.
And you said that when you tried to bury them away, one of these manifestations came into real life, one different than what Josh and Marsha were dealing with.
Yep. It spoke to us. It used the visage of our grandfather. But it was clearly, it was a temptation, wouldn't you say, Willow, of some sort?
I think so, and that's how Isaiah kind of framed it, that it was the devil testing us.
I mean, it seemed like that to me. So I think that's something that I agree with about Isaiah.
Despite that, he still wanted the journals. He didn't ask them to be destroyed. You didn't find that
Right.
confusing?
I'm sorry that he didn't want the journals destroyed.
Isaiah wanted the journals. That's what you said, right, Willow?
Yeah, but I didn't ultimately know what he intended to do with them.
Why would he want
That is fair, yeah. He just
heretical
wanted them.
materials that would be
He
capable?
did give me the one journal back with the intention that I would destroy it. I didn't, but that was the intention.
Beat. Um, Cole, you did not know this.
Right. Okay.
Do you respond to that, or do you
Guess I would
note
respond
it?
directly to Willow and say, do you think his intention is just to amass this heretical knowledge for himself? And if so, to what end?
And beat again. I did explain that Isaiah was in the dream walking. He's capable of interfering, and he has. So, according to at least
There's
me, he plays the game already.
there are things that we don't know and can't know. It's not a surprise to us that there are inner circles in this church. We've known about the patriarch. We've known about that inner circle forever. there's a level here of we don't, it's not our place to ask questions. We're told what we're told. If we make it to an inner circle, we make it to the inner circle. I don't think that I can't say what Isaiah's intention was, nor do I think it's up to me to know. I think it's we all have a role, and we know that, and we've known that. I don't think this changes anything.
Well, I guess I hear what you're saying, Willow, but I kind of have a theory of what's happening here, and it goes beyond normal church leadership, which can be insulated and hierarchical, where they have the knowledge and the power, um, and the followers don't. But it almost seems like, from what I'm hearing here, that Isaiah and perhaps the bunch of the inner circle are actually acting as some sort of conduits of power in some way or another, and not just symbolic power, but real. I don't know what to call it. Is it mystical, magical? Is it some sort of power
It's something.
from beyond? And so that's sort of the way that I see things forming. That church leadership is trying to empower themselves as some sort of conduit or between our reality and whatever hellscape those creatures came from.
And maybe they killed your grandfather to get more power. Maybe they killed my father because he was on to what they were doing. Or
Yeah,
maybe
maybe so, but I
similar.
mean, to be honest, James, I'm not so concerned with that right now. I'm not concerned with vendetta. I'm concerned about my daughter and my wife in the here and now.
Understanding. I've moved past vendetta. I just want to know why they did what they did.
Well, I
If
agree with you.
if it was because of something my father was doing that I don't want to replicate, I don't want to follow down that same path. Same to you and your grandfather. I would like to know what that was so I can avoid it instead of being having the business under my office firebombed as some sort of warning.
Oh, I guess.
So let's take a beat. There is a couple of details that haven't put on the table. One is the archive. Willow, you are the only one that knows exactly where it is and the kinds of documents that are housed there. Um, do you put the archive on the table?
Do I think, based on what I saw, do you think that it would answer any of our questions, or that the historian would even let us view those documents?
You roll let me see. Roll investigate.
Give me a second because my laptop battery is failing and it just died.
Do you
But should
mind
be
if
back in just a second.
okay. Do you mind if I roll it for you since we're
Yeah, absolutely.
running low on time? Okay.
Yeah,
Or I see you connecting.
yeah, I'm getting there. But if you want to roll it, that's fine with me.
Okay. It's a partial success. So you didn't get the full GM roll, but at least it's not a
Hey,
failure. You can I can kind of answer your question, but it'll come at a cost.
yeah, I'll do that. So what is my
Okay.
gut feeling, and how do I find out more?
Um
One
s-
question.
yeah,
What's my gut feeling?
so your gut feeling. So here's the cost is you are going to tip your hand. Um this will tip your hand. Um wait, no. It wouldn't tip your hand. Um okay. How about this? I will allow you. or I would like for you to text. Um, we're gonna say that the archivist allowed you to ask um that you got the contact information for the archivist. You can send her a text right now to say hey, like I'm looking for more info about different stuff. Am I able to to come to the archive and do more research, and I will respond to you. I like your response will come through that. Are you willing to send that text?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So the archivist says, if the prophet trusts you with the location of this archive, you are free to come and use it as you wish. Um, one, above the table, Willow, your hand has now been tipped to the prophet, who knows that
Mhm.
you are researching things that are not that he's not telling you to research, and that you've kind of started to do your own um to follow your own curiosities. And
Mhm.
two, your gut feeling tells you that a lot of these questions um can be answered by documents that are in the archives, especially if you're able to ask the right questions.
Okay. Hmm.
And so the five of you here gathered in James's living room. There's, a draft from the back door that had to be kicked in by uh, our hero of the day, Josh. And the evening is starting to set. Um, the six of you, I'm sorry, are here together, kind of putting together all of these clues, these this uh different pieces of information. Um, Willow, you do mention the archive to the crew, right? To the group.
I thought they said that.
I feel like I would say something along the lines of like, I think I know a place where we
Okay,
might be able to get some answers.
Oh,
okay. And I'm gonna say Robin and um and James, you immediately clock. That's the
perfect.
archive. And so the six of you are kind of continuing to trade notes. The evening begins to set, and um you hear like a shuffling at the front door, and you hear in this snarling, bubbling, guttural voice um say, Marsha, come back to your church, Marsha. They miss you. And we will end our session with that.
Super
Thank
creepy.
you for those that watched, and happy um, retirement to Andy. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good
See you
night.
next time.
Bye.